This is what you call a room with a view. It's, of course, Matheny Fieldhouse, and over my shoulder, it is the legendary Reeve Stadium. So I'm watching a biography at about 1 in the morning after trying to wind down talking politics on the radio for hours. And once again, Joe Namath pops up on the screen. Do you know that his nickname in high school was Joey U because of his hero, Johnny U, as in Johnny Unitas?
Well, if you look over our shoulder and you see that orange BF, it's on the 19-yard line because we strategically placed it there for Joe Namath.
You know, I might as well just stay in town, get a slice of D&J pizza, because I'm going to be at the Bruno Museum, of course, the foundation, the Magical Coach. We're going to be talking to some officials, and the Beaver County chapter is celebrating 100 years. That's pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah, don't ask me if I remember when they started, but I think that's
incredible.
Incredible.
Well, here's what's even more ironic. I visited the cemetery before I came here today because strategically on the 6th or 8th and the 9th, because my mother said she was born in 29, not 28, but everybody said it was a 28, meaning 1928. My dad born in 1926. So I like to pay my respects from time to time and think back of how great they were. My dad would have been 99 years of age on October 6th, and my mother, obviously a few years younger. But man, time stands still for no one, huh?
It's undefeated.
That's why he's the coach. All right, listen. You didn't have a chance to put up as many points.
I know one guy that beat time.
Who?
And beat death. Read your Bible.
Yes, the ultimate individual who will always withstand the test of time.
Always. He always has been, he always is, he always will be.
Praise Jesus.
That's who he is.
I know.
If you have to think about eternity, that's really hard on the brain cells.
You know, I've told this many times. It's impressive that I am with many people in my life from all aspects of life. When I get to the gates, God willing, the first person I'm going to want to see, beyond anyone, is my mother. Because she's the only one that had my back through everything.
There you go.
All right, let's get going. You just couldn't put up enough points to kind of slow down that high-octane offense. Talk about Grove City and that loss, sir.
We had 9 points. You can't win in college football scoring 9 points. So offensively, for us, it was a game where we had many opportunities, and we squandered those opportunities. But there was an All-American that plays for Grove City, number 5. He is one of the best college football players in the country, and he wrecked us. He, along with some of the other guys on defense. The score doesn't indicate really how the game played out. It was a lot closer. It was a competitive game. People tell me that. They didn't use the word entertaining this time because we only scored 9 points. When you hold Grove City to 22 points, that's quite an accomplishment. It really is. And I'll tell you this: we felt like we were competing with them, snap to snap.
How are you transitioning into this whole passing attack thing? I mean, as a coach who really is not new to it, but you're embracing it because you felt it was time. So just how are you matriculating through that?
I think, when we run the triple option, it was just this mindset of we're just going to pound people, and that was the mindset. I think with this idea, this passing offense is, listen, we got to go. There's no midpoint in it. We've got to try to get the ball off as quick as possible. And what Grove City did is they slowed the game down. They had the ball twice as long as what we did, and that was a critical point in the game.
Pretty aggressive defense too. Your next opponent happens to be Teal. 8 points in their first 3, 14 in their last, and they've given up 43. But that means nothing. It means
nothing, and here's one of the reasons it means nothing. They've played teams that are just absolutely some really good football teams they've played. And we're playing them there, and they're always it's a difficult place to play. Plus, you don't get any points for what you've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to get off the bus and battle and play and earn the right to compete and to be there. So you can't win the game before it starts. You can't win the game on the first play. It's every play.
You know, I'm not going to get ahead, but looking at the schedule, what lies ahead.
I don't wanna do that.
I know, but you're 2-3, 2-1 in the conference. All in all, Coach, I mean, all's good.
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
It just I guess it comes down to who's making the definition of good. For me, I think we can be better.
Well, I think you will be better as this season runs its course. Let's just talk a little bit about life on this campus. You know, I got here a little while ago. The new Welcome Center, the foundation is being dug. Really some incredible things happening here. But as I was waiting for you, you were doing some X and O's with your coaches, as you always do, looking at some of the pictures and all of the various sports, and you've got people on the hardwood shooting some buckets, getting ready for hoop season, the men and women. Got the baseball team always in that time frame of thinking it'll be here before you know it, even though we're kind of wrapping up the Major League Baseball season. But you know, one of the things that volleyball is great, but in tennis and golf, but cross country, I was just thinking about cross country a little bit. You know, I was never one of those runners, even though I could run for miles. I never did it competitively, but I always admired people that were cross country runners. Boy, what a very unique athlete, right?
Very unique, very intelligent. I joke often with our students and our cross country teams. Well, how many miles did you do today? And they will say, well, we had a cool down day. We just did 8. 8? It's just, they run and run and run and run.
And you have to be able to be at peace with the world and yourself. But here's another anniversary. 45 years ago, this time frame, I was doing that 10-mile-a-day thing, obsessive compulsive, every day after I would get off the radio. And I happened to run into the bumper of an automobile, which was a truck that kind of ran me over, but thank God, all's well that ends well. And I kind of got taken aback, and I'll never forget, speaking of my mother, people talk about when you go through something like that in life, how traumatic it is and what you experience. I mean, I got hit hard, no pain, but as I was being pulled under this truck, Gino, so help me, tears were running down my face to where I could taste the salt. It was just so surreal, but it wasn't because I was in pain, because as the sky was disappearing underneath the chassis of that truck, I realized that I was never going to see my parents again. And isn't it amazing, the full circle of life? Here I am at the cemetery today. They both have been gone 25 and 20 respectively. I've survived it, gone on to have a life, have kids, grandkids. There's got to be something to this thing that is faith.
Well, if you look at it, everything on earth has a beginning and an end. Right. Everything. Even a college football career as a coach. It has a beginning, it has an end. You go into that trophy room, you look back at all the things that were done in the past. Everybody had their time. Time's undefeated, like I said. Time's undefeated. And I think one of the things that you realize, and we got students visiting.
That's okay.
Right here.
No,
that's what it's about. We're sitting
is.
here in the hallway. What do we expect? And that's what's awesome. We got families coming in to see the school.
But if you're a parent, this is where you want your children to transition into that next step in life.
Do you know how many parents I have signed in the last 33, 38 years as a Geneva coach? A lot of parents. It's trying to get the kids of those parents.
What's the most satisfying?
But I want to go back to this thing that you're talking about. You were just at the cemetery. You look in, you walk into a room, and you see like how fast life goes.
It does.
And faith is everything. Faith is everything. If it wasn't for the Christian faith, if it wasn't for Christ alone, if it wasn't for that answer of, and what is the purpose of life?
Right. The
purpose of life is to worship God and enjoy Him and enjoy the blessings He's given you. That's a pretty fulfilling thing. But this is not our resting home.
No.
I mean, if you do believe in life after, it gives you hope. It gives you hope that that this just doesn't mean, hey, we got so many years left, and then what? I mean, people say some things nice about you at your viewing, and then somebody gets up and says, let's go downstairs and eat potato salad. I mean, there's more to it than that.
There has to be.
Oh, there is. There is. I mean, I believe that wholeheartedly.
I'll take your word on it.
Yeah, no, don't take my word. Okay, listen.
The word.
My dad used to say this all the time. Anybody who has something like it, read your Bible. And I'm like, oh boy, Dad.
We Catholics, we have somebody interpret it for us.
No, you need to, yeah. That's funny. I
Hey,
got no
speaking of
rebuttal on
that, the only reason I really love coming here is to see you, obviously, but I get a chance to roll.
Because I'm so pleasant.
You are. I get a chance to roll through New Brighton, which I never do anymore, okay? So I drove by, Holy Family, which, of course, was the church I grew up, St. Joe's, now Our Lady of the Valley of the Peace. And I was thinking about those steps and those doors opening after, Mass on Sundays, and the Pittsburgh Press, the Post-Gazette, the Beaver Valley Bakery, all the ushers, Mr. Badaki, all these people, Mr. Morak used to take care of the grade school where all my chums grew up, Father Reichel, who, by the way, came to the hospital that day when I was hit by that truck because we didn't know where it was going to go.
What year was that?
1980.
Wow.
That is 45 years. I wasn't very good in math, but I think that's correct, right? It's been a long time, but all these things going through my mind, walking up the hill to my grandmother's house for decades, going to Sunday dinner, all of the names, the people, the places, the things. We are so fortunate to have grown up in Beaver County.
We're so fortunate to grow up in the time that we did, in the area that we did.
Oh, amen.
With the people that we did. That is a blessing. It truly is. We have no clue at all of what some people are going through on the other side of the world or what they went through in different time frames. We really don't. And it's impossible for us. Why don't we just, like you said, just stop and enjoy what God's given us? It's very difficult for some of us to do that, especially in season. And that's an issue. And that's one of the reasons why, after doing this thing for so long, I need to appreciate the blessings that God's given me.
Well, let me tell you, I'm always in overdrive. And today, because of that great power company, Duquesne Light, doing some work in the neighborhood, we were advised the power would be down for a while. So it was like an hour. But you know what I did? I went out on my back porch after my workout, because I've done all my video stuff ahead of time. And I just let the sun beat down on my face, and I kind of closed my eyes, and I started listening to nature and the sights and sounds of them working next door, meaning power company, and of course the birds and people talking, and the mail person delivering the mail, the mailbox clanging, just to have that moment and to have multiple moments and to have been alive as long as you and I have. We're very fortunate, brother, very fortunate. And to be here at Geneva, and on a day, too, where the big story is our president, and I believe he should get the Nobel Peace Prize, has brokered a deal for the great state of Israel, which I will always stand for, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And it looks like hostages are coming home and the war in Gaza is done, peace. And the Palestinians are celebrating, everyone's celebrating. So it is a good day to be alive.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's a great day. For as long as this thing's gone on over there, it's just.
How about another deep dive for you? Remember who used to do on field for me when I was doing the radio? A guy by the name of Sandy Zelkowitz. Sandy's father survived a concentration camp, came to America, started a lumber company in Ambridge, put a lien on his business to start Maples Restaurant, a synagogue, which is now Beth Samuel Jewish Center. All roads are connected, my friend.
Wow.
Now, your football team, I know you're not looking in the rearview mirror all the time because you've got a lot of stuff ahead of you. But man, this is where the leaves start to change. It starts to get a little cooler. The night's getting shorter. You're starting to feel it a little bit?
Yeah, starting to feel it a lot. getting off the practice field, it starts getting darker. It's it's that time. You can't describe it. You're 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the fall. Where are you going to be? You want to be on the practice field. You want to be, on the weekend. You want to be on a sideline somewhere. It's just like you were talking about being part of nature or getting. It's just something about
It's
it.
going to be tough for me to let all this go. Because this has been my whole life. I mean, I don't know anything
We live in
else.
America. We do have freedom of speech, so we can do this, whether we have one person or 100,000 people.
Well, but I know,
following
but
us.
sooner or later, somebody's got to give me a few shekels. 15 years and 150,000 free videos ain't putting any food on the table. So when I
Yeah.
transition into retirement, I will take some very small donations to keep it going. Because honestly, for food, for gas, a little pocket change, I like doing good stuff, promoting good things. And there's so much good. Looking around this college campus, this is gold.
Yeah.
Life doesn't get much better than this, Coach.
And you realize how great you have things or had things when they're taken away from you. You really get a value of that.
Yep.
And man, this is supposed to be about a football game, and we have really dove deep.
That's what we do,
into
though.
the purpose
That's why I
of
like
life.
coming over here.
The
It's more
purpose
than
of life.
football.
It is more than football. It really is. It's more than football. I don't think I could be a football coach without having a commitment to Christ. I know that the game itself would just absolutely devour me, or I would devour myself in it. I don't know what it would be like to live in a world today without a hope that one day, one day everything's going to be made right.
It will be. And at that time, hopefully all of us will be at peace with our journey. I mean, there are things we'd all like to change, but for the most part, you got to look at the body of work, and what you've done. And let me tell you something. Forget wins and losses. What you have done here is remarkable.
I was thinking about, you got to look at just every day as an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity
To make good.
to make good, even if it's one person. Even if you touch, compliment one person. Be able to say, you go through things, and counselors say this, psychologists say this. It's even in the Bible. When you're going through difficult times, probably the greatest thing you can do is to reach out to somebody else who is in need, and it's it put things in perspective. I really do. Like this season's half over.
I know. Where'd it go?
But for me, it is just this constant grind of how can we improve, and it's really tough to shut that off and shut it down.
Let me ask you one other thing, then we'll say goodbye. And again, they have Teal on the road this week. Is that a noon kickoff?
It's a noon kickoff. It's TV.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Hey, by the way,
I'm joking.
I got home from work Saturday, and it takes me like an hour or so just to kind of get my bearings. And I usually stand in the kitchen and slam some pretzels and drink some water. I'm flipping. I see your game on TV, and I had forgotten. Boy, what great coverage.
Those guys do a great job.
Austin and then Bechtel, former producer, now at the 93.7 The Fan. Incredible. I was just absolutely amazed. Absolutely amazed. But anyway, here's the other thing. The NFL, these athletes who get put on that massive stage, get buckets of money. I've been thinking about Tyreek Hill a little bit, and it kind of saddens me because he's going through this injury and he's out of the game for a while, and there's talk about maybe not having to pay up his whole contract. Mark Sanchez in the news, the former quarterback. Now they're saying his contract could be maybe voided because, carrying a weapon, this knife, and he gets stabbed. I mean, it's just horrible. What do you think your obligation is as a coach? Professional level, I understand. It's a job, it's a business, it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and I think the NFL does incredibly well against all odds with some of these athletes who come from very tough situations. But I think it really begins at high school and college, and especially in an incredible Division III school like yours. But as a coach, how do you try to mentor some of these athletes to help them head the right way?
I think the biggest thing is you got to know what is your mission. what are you called to do? I know what I'm called to do here
Right.
is to make these football guys into men, and hopefully men of God one day. But that's it, and that's a whole bunch. There's a huge job description to that, and sometimes it's sitting down with a kid who's just desperate. Sometimes it's getting in the kid's grill just because he needs it. Sometimes it's a little bit of both, and I just consider it an incredible blessing that I was able to do something, and able to do something. I mean, we're halfway through. We're not one. I hate. This is the one thing that I hated about this year was talking about, our deal right now is on offense. We are going to have to score more points than Teal. We got to get off the bus ready to play
And score.
and score. And we did a bad job of that against the Grovers.
They were pretty good. But okay.
Oh, they're really good.
They are. Anyway, but the thing I do love about that brand, this National Football League, there are so many great stories, so many young men who are walking with Christ, so many young people who are donating these incredible athletes their time to charity and to youth organizations. So there's much more good than bad, but you still want to help those few who find themselves on the wrong side. And maybe that's just because of the way I was raised, but it's always nice to talk positive stuff. Right?
Well, it is.
And that's why I do more than just football with you, because there's no way I'm going to get 5 minutes of football out of you. If I get 5 minutes, it's been a good interview. I've known you too long. There's just too many things going through this brain of yours.
Yeah, it's just the football stuff. Yeah, you need to shut this thing off. Come back here and be in one of our meetings, and then you'll realize.
They put a lot of time in. And I will be with you later tonight down the road on 7th Avenue as we pay tribute to the Beaver County chapter of officials. No penalty flags tonight, just enjoying the conversation with them and celebrating 100 years of doing some incredible work. So that's later. He's Gino DeMarco. I'm your Pratt Pack. Have a great rest of your day.